the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What is up, Dog Pack? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast, Dog Pack Discord live episode today. Josh All, your host. No Kenny Mack today. Kenny might be jumping in toward the end of this episode, he said, because he is currently en route to Las Vegas. That's right, he's going to be out there with the Vegas Browns backers. And while we're talking about that, I might as well remind everybody listening to this after the fact, if you guys are going to be out in Las Vegas on Sunday or this weekend for the Browns game, there is the Browns Backer Bash hosted by the Vegas Dog Pound. And that is going to be this Saturday, November 22nd from 5 to 8 p.m. at Evolve Brewing and St. Felix. So that is at 8680 West Sunset Boulevard in Las Vegas. And they're going to have Gary Barnidge, the good old Gary Barnidge, good tight end from the Browns years back. He's going to be there. And then there was one other guy that was there. This isn't on the official bulletin. Kenny mentioned it last week. I can't remember if it was Felix Wright or who it is, but there's another Browns alum going to be there. So, and then if you guys head out there, you can pick up your limited edition 2025 Vegas Dog Pound t-shirt for just $20. So make sure you guys check them out. Kenny will be out there. Say hi. He'll probably record a video with you, all that good stuff. Send it to me, and I'll be posting on social. So if you want to get on the Dawgs Podcast social medias, just go find Kenny out at the Vegas Browns Backers Bash. All right, last thing. Speaking of Kenny, make sure you guys go donate to his Movember campaign. I think it was Pringles is running a special right now that they'll donate $25 for every every donation of $50 or more until their bonus funds for his campaign runs out. So we're donating to the Movember campaign. The link should be down in the description of this episode when we're done. So make sure you check that out. It's for a good cause. It's for men's mental health, specifically around cancer treatments and things like that. So make sure you guys are supporting our boy, Kenny Mack. All right. Well, it's good to have everybody here down in the audience. Again, if you're watching this after we've done the live, if you want to get in on these Dog Pack Discord episodes, head to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page. We're doing a Black Friday sale right now. So if you go sign up for the Patreon, for the Dog Pack membership before next Sunday, I think that's November 30th. By November 30th, you get 10% off either your first month or your first annual subscription, whichever way you guys want to join. So make sure you check that out. It's code Black Friday when you sign up for 10% off. So if you guys down here want to, jump up here, we've got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, this game in Vegas is a big one for the Browns, for the fan base, for everybody, just because it's Shedeur Sanders' first start. Talked about it all week. We kind of knew that was going to happen after Dillon Gabriel left with a concussion last week. People don't typically come back from those in less than a week to play the next game. So kind of figured it was going to be Shedeur, and now it's all been confirmed this week. So what are your expectations? What do you guys want to see? What are you hoping for? Get your hands up if you want to come up here. I will talk real quick while you guys are deciding if you want to talk. Oh, I got Tony. Okay, I'll bring up here in a second. I just want to mention the Browns did extend Alex Wright today. So that was kind of the breaking news here this week, toward the end of the week, I should say. Alex Wright, defensive end, fourth-year guy out of UAB. He was, the 78th pick in 2022, third-round pick for the Browns. Has really performed well this year, opposite Myles Garrett on that Browns defensive line. I know he's been out here for the last, week or two with, I think it's a quad injury, and I'm not sure if he's going to play this week either. But when he is on the field, man, he's a force to be reckoned with opposite Myles. I mean, it's not like he's a Pro Bowl type player, in my opinion, but he's what we've been looking for on the other side of the line. Just a steady, reliable guy that can get after the passer when Myles is eating up double teams and all those kinds of things. So just wanted to talk about that. I thought that was a really good deal for the Browns to get that extension done. There's a lot of players that could have been in trade talks back at the trade deadline that if the Browns weren't going to move some of these guys, it made a whole lot of sense to get them extended. And now Alex Wright becomes the first one to get that done. So I'm going to get Tony up here, talk to him real quick. I got Truth Senpai down here, Brad, in the chat saying, do a live stream for the game, Brad, we talked about it. We talked about doing it. The fact that it's a 4:05 game on Sunday makes it kind of difficult for three dads to swing on a Sunday. It's tough. We would love to do it. We like I said, we really did talk about it. We thought about it, but we're just not going to be able to. We are thinking, though, about doing one later in the season. We're kind of shooting for maybe that Titans game because there's a chance, see how things go, there's a chance that could be Cam Ward v. Shedeur Sanders, which would just be interesting. That would be cool. So we might do a live stream for the Titans game. All right, Tony, you can unmute yourself and tell me what's up.
Yeah, man. Hopefully all the good there. The one person I think that's not far behind Alex Wright for getting extension would be Isaiah McGuire. I think those two on the edge, although they're not, you're all pros, I think create a very good tandem, especially with the way we rotate our defensive line. So wouldn't be surprised if we see Isaiah McGuire. I think he's got another year on his contract. I could be wrong about that.
He does.
But I wouldn't be shocked if you see him get extended as well.
Yeah, if he gets extended, that would probably be during next season. Or before this season, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but he would be the next one that I would want to have because I think those two on the edge with Myles Garrett just helps out. But we'd also having really good defensive tackles, such as Graham, which I think is the steal of a draft. But anyways, I was going to say for the game, I'm excited to see Shedeur. I was actually at the game last week against the Ravens. I wasn't actually surprised. I thought it'd be a lot more excitement when you would have saw Shedeur out there, but I think the fan base is just so driven down by how bad it's been that there wasn't a lot of excitement for it. But I would say for the game this Sunday, I know he's going to have his own game plan and everything. I don't expect him to throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns and just light up the game. I would not be surprised if he has a much similar game because I know we posted on social media where he has a much similar game to Baker, where he's going to maybe throw for a couple touchdowns. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws for a couple interceptions. I mean, listen, he's a rookie. He's got to learn. I mean, this is first week, first team reps. I mean, he's going to be going against a first team defense this coming week. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws a couple interceptions. But I think he's going to push the ball down the field as long as the offensive plays call for it. I think we'll see more about that. We'll just have to see if that mid to short range accuracy to a little bit of long range, what he did very well in college can translate over here, the NFL. I mean, he had some good throws last week, but we got to really see what we're working with.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's when I was going back and looking at stats and getting things ready for this show and just looking at the history between the Browns and Raiders, which I'll get into, but the big one that stuck out to me was obviously that 2018 game when they were in Oakland. And I didn't even realize it until I started digging. I was like, that was Baker Mayfield's first ever career start in the NFL. So the last time we had a rookie quarterback get his first ever start in the NFL was the last time we've had a rookie quarterback get his first start on the road against the Raiders was Baker Mayfield in 2018. And I wanted to go back and look and see how he performed in that game because obviously expectations for Baker Mayfield would have been much higher than what we should have for Shedeur Sanders this weekend. Baker was the number 1 overall pick. He was drafted to be the future of the franchise. Like that is what a number 1 pick is. He had more practice reps over, training camp because he was not the QB4 in a 4-way quarterback competition, quote unquote. He was the guy behind, and they were going to start with Tyrod Taylor and then move to Baker at some point. And it just so happened this was how it went. Tyrod gets hurt the week before Baker comes in. They win that game, which we did not win last week. But now he goes out to Oakland to play the Raiders, and in his first start, he goes 21 of 41 for 51.2%. So those aren't great numbers right there. 295, that's nice yardage total, and he had 2 touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions, so I'm with you. If we get, the thing is so Shedeur maybe throws a little over 50% of his passes. We have a precedent for that. If he can throw 2 touchdowns, I don't even care how many turnovers he might have. I want to see us score points. He's a rookie. He's a rookie quarterback. I expect there to be mistakes. I expect there to be rookie mistakes. I don't expect it to look perfect or clean or anything like that, but I want to see those flashes. I want to see those moments where you go, yes, that's a throw that a quarterback should be able to make for my team. That's what I want to see. I saw none of those from Dylan Gabriel in 5.5 starts. And I saw a couple throws already in one half from Shedeur that was a sloppy, ugly half, but a couple throws that were like, okay, I want to see more. I want to see what else he can do. All right, Tony, appreciate that. Let's see. We got Thriller in Canada says accuracy with his throws. Would love to see the O-line have some semblance of protection for him. Yeah, speaking on that, Jack Conklin and Cam Robinson were on the practice field as far as I saw from reports today. So sounds like we might have our starting offensive line. Not that means a whole lot. They're not great to begin with, but it's better than having KT Leviston out there. If KT Leviston has to play against Max Crosby, I'm not looking forward to that matchup. Not in any way, shape, or form. The only guy that looks like he could be in danger of missing this that would really impact Shedeur on the offensive side of the ball is David Njoku. DNP for the last 2 days. We'll see what happens tomorrow on Friday, but he's got a knee injury that sucks because we need him. We need Fannin. We need those guys that can be reliable targets in this passing offense because the wide receivers are a big old nothing burger to this team right now, unfortunately. Brad, what's up, man?
Yo, what up, dog? I forgot it was a weird time game on Sunday.
Oh yeah, it's another afternoon game, just like last week.
Lame. We suck at those games.
I mean, it's not like we're any better at 1 o'clock, so.
And I know. Want to go to the Wayback Machine with me?
Is it positive or negative this week?
But I don't know. We are, unfortunately, as an organization since '99, 0-17 for starting our rookie quarterbacks. So that's a great stat to have. Hopefully, Shedeur can change that. It's just weird that I felt like we beat the Raiders before, but then I look at the stats. I was like, oh, really? Since Brian Hoyer? But then I remember that weird weather game we had where Derek Carr was still there. We lost that game, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I remember now.
Yeah.
Well, here's I'm going to try to be a little positive. Here's my positive outlook.
Let's hear it.
The Raiders are just the worst team in the league, like by bar none, like just terrible on the defense and on the offense, just awful. We are a little bit above that. I don't know how much more.
Thriller just hit it in the chat. What I'm thinking, he just hit it.
Yeah. We could win this game with just our defense alone. I mean, depending on who's in there at quarterback, all three love to turn the ball over, regardless of who's starting. And this could be Miles breaking the single sack season record during this game.
That would be wild. That would be wild.
Like I was talking to Blake today, we both watched that Raiders game, and man, they were just yikes bad. So we'll see. I'm just hoping that the defense travels, and I just want to see the kid do well. Like we are all exhausted for looking for a quarterback. And maybe this kid will be it. Is that a reality? It could be, but I don't know. It's hard to look out when we have little to nothing to look forward to right now.
I know, man. So
it's
you say they're the worst team in the league. Thriller obviously in the chat says worse than the Jets, and that's always my pushback when I'm hearing this talk all week too. Is hey, look, we went on the road to New York and lost to the Jets after a freaking bye week. Like, I hand the Browns nothing. Where I'm going to talk about, just kind of the numbers for the game here in a little bit, but. Ash has a good point here in the chat. He says, I'm not expecting much. Our O-line, enough said. Our defense on the road, sketchy, and we can't expect special teams to drive this game again. I think he means like last week where they played very well. Special teams blew the game. They handed the game to the Jets early the week before. So I don't know, man. This team, the Browns, they scare me. They worry me on the road every time. Doesn't matter who they're playing.
Yeah. I already kind of told Blake, if they lose on Sunday in some awful fashion, be it special teams, be some calamity that could have been avoided, I'm going to be like, I already have my voicemail saved in my memory bank of what I'm going to say. So.
I can't wait to hear what song you sing this time.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good one.
All right, man. Let's see. If anyone else wants to come up, get your hands up. I'm going to go through a couple things for the game real quick, and then we'll talk some more. So Sunday, previewing the game, it's the 2-8 Browns going to the Sin City to face the 2-8 Las Vegas Raiders. So like Brad just said, despite everybody else trashing the Raiders, calling them the worst team, blah, 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 which I know they're not good. They're not good by any stretch, but they're still, last I checked, which was earlier today, a 4-point favorite over the Browns at home this week. So this game has a 36.5 point over-under. I doubt any Browns game the rest of the season will ever have an over-under with more than 40. I think we'll probably always be under 40. Cleveland is plus 175 to win the game. A new thing I've been looking at, because we just kind of partnered with them right now on Kalshi, the Browns have a 36% chance to win the game. So if you think the Browns have a good shot at winning with Shedeur in his first start in Vegas, you can make a pretty nice return if you're right about that. Quick reminder, you can go do that over at kalshi.com/dogs. Use code DAWGS, DAWGS, get $20 when you trade $100. So like we said, this is going to be Shedeur's first career start. What sort of odds, we kind of alluded to this already, Brad did, is he up against in terms of Browns history? So last season, Browns went out to Vegas and lost. They were also wearing the 1946 throwback jerseys and the white helmets, which they're going to wear this week. The Raiders won 20-16. So can we score more than 16 this time around? Deshaun Watson last year was 24 of 32 for just 176 yards at 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Jerry Jeudy was 6 for 72. Amari Cooper was 4 for 35. If you remember, that was the game where the refs robbed Amari Cooper of an 82-yard touchdown. They called a holding on Nick Harris, and if I remember correctly, it was like the tickiest of tackiest holding calls ever. I need to go back and watch that replay again just to see how bad it was. But more Raiders Browns history here. Hat tip to Quincy Carrier on X for posting this. He said, if the Browns win, Shedeur will become the first Browns rookie to win his first start since the return of the team in 1999. So no rookie in their first career start since the Browns came back has ever won their first game. He would also be the first Browns QB, rookie or vet, to win a road game on the West Coast since 2012. And that was Brandon Weeden, of all people. The Browns have not beaten the Raiders since 2014. That game was in Cleveland, and the Browns won 23-13. So it's been over a decade now since the Browns beat Oakland or Las Vegas. These two teams have played 5 times since that last win, and in the last 3 games, the Browns have scored 16, 14, and 6 points. The best matchup in that span was 2018. Already talked about that. The Browns lost in an overtime thriller, 45-42. And like I said, rookie season for Baker Mayfield, but it was Denzel Ward's rookie year, Nick Chubb. And that was the game that Nick Chubb rattled off 105 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 3 carries because Hugh Jackson would not play him. That was always a joke back then. And then, of course, what the front office do, they took Carlos Hyde, shipped him away, I think it was to Jacksonville, to make sure that Nick Chubb could be the starter. So looking at the big X factor in my opinion, for this game, as far as the Raiders are concerned, it's Max Crosby. And if you guys want to talk about anything with the game, go ahead and get your hands up in the audience down there. But Max Crosby, this dude is a monster. He is going to terrorize our offensive tackles. If Shedeur holds onto the ball too long, Crosby's going to make him pay for sure. 6 sacks on the season. He has 14 tackles for loss. That's the 3rd most in the NFL. He generates a lot of pressures. He has a strong pass rush win rate, something like 15%. And they've also got Devin White on defense. He has 97 tackles this season. That's the 4th most in the NFL. And he also has a high tackle for loss at 7. So their offense, in my opinion, is a lot similar to ours. They can't run the ball very well. Genty is averaging just 3.7 yards a carry. They only have 4 rushing touchdowns total as a team. And they have no wide receivers on the team. Now that they traded Jacoby Myers, they have Trey Tucker, Dante Thornton, Tyler Lockett, Jack Besh, a lot of young guys, and 1 super old guy. And their biggest weapon is their tight end, Brock Bowers. He's a beast, but otherwise on offense, there's really not much to speak of. This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. Browns fans, are you ready to put your money where your predictions are? With Kalshi, America's #1 regulated prediction market, you can legally trade on events that actually matter to you. And the best part is you don't need to predict specific stat lines and compile a 7-leg parlay just to win big. With Kalshi, the objective is either yes or no. Will the Browns win their game this week? Will Quinshon Judkins score a touchdown? Will Carson Schlesinger win Defensive Rookie of the Year? You can put your money on these predictions and more with Kalshi. If you want to try it out, all you have to do is sign up at kalshi.com/dogs. That's KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, and trade $100. Get away from disadvantageous sportsbooks and dive into real-world outcomes with real-time odds and real payouts. Head over to kalshi.com/dogs or click the link in the description to get $20 when you trade $100 with Kalshi. Because why shouldn't you get paid for being right? All right, we're getting Gage up here. Maybe. All right, let's see. You're on mute. All right, what's going on, man?
Can you hear me okay? What's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not coming into this game expecting anything perfect. Obviously, this is going to be his first start. Obviously, he needs to get the ball out quick, take what the defense gives him. I think we're going to see some plays pushed down the field, obviously, because he's obviously not afraid to do it. He needs to not hold the ball long. I would like to see the game plan to have him on the move, have him roll out a little bit away from Max Crosby. Because if you go back and look at that Carolina game where he was successful at is when he was on the rollout. I think, and I think, didn't we, I'm pretty sure we signed, what's his name? Caden Davis back to the practice squad.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw that we waived him earlier in the week. I didn't see if we officially signed him back or not. I'm pretty sure
we did earlier today.
Okay. I'm sure we did.
So I think Mary Kay reported that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's elevated to the active roster on that day, on game day. Just to give him somebody he's familiar with out there other than Larvadane. But yeah, it seems him and Fannin have a little bit of a connection. I think he should rely heavily on Fannin this game. And I hope we don't, as an offense, just try to be one-dimensional. I hope we don't just try to drop back and just expect him to throw it 30 times and just put him in a bad situation. I hope we come in with a balanced approach, or at least try to, in some fashion. And I don't know. With our defense this game, I just have a feeling for some reason this is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't know why, but I just have that feeling.
Well, that would be interesting because I've got my typical stat lines that I want to go through and everything here, but if you look at what these two teams average as far as points per game, they are, I believe, number 2 and number 3 worst, lowest points per game. The Browns actually average more points per game a little bit than the Raiders. They average 16.2 and the Raiders average 15.5. So if it's a high-scoring game, it would be very rare, and it's going to involve some defensive scores for both teams.
Hey, we are notorious for doing very rare things. So
True.
And for some reason, whenever we play the Raiders, we struggle defensively. Whatever it is, I don't know what, but we always struggle. I don't know why. Yeah, just for Shedeur, I know he's going to want to try to play hero ball. Just don't do it. Just take what they give you.
No,
I know I don't think the moment's going to be too big for him, but I know he's wanting to win the job and all that. Just go out and play ball, bro.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. A great outlook, great advice. Like, my opinion, and we'll, you guys put in the chat what you guys think. I don't think it really matters what Shedeur does on Sunday. I mean, he could play well, he could play poorly. I think that as soon as Dylan's cleared from concussion protocol, he gets the job back. I don't think Kevin is in the business of, removing guys from their spots just because they got injured. I think as soon as Dylan's healthy, he's back. And so Shedeur just needs to play this game like, you just go out and win the game. And I think that the game plan is going to need to involve a lot of Quinshon Judkins. We need to be able to run the ball because you saw what the Ravens were doing in that second half. They were just loading it up and sending people after the quarterback because they took the run away. We couldn't do it. It was second and third and long every drive. And I mean, at that point, it's over. It's over. We can't expect, this rookie quarterback to bail us out of third and long over and over. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't drift back as much, but I mean, for most rookie quarterbacks, they tend to do that.
Yeah, it's not a Shedeur specific thing like people make it out to be.
Yeah. But if it's not there, just get rid of it. Throw it out of bounds. Don't take the sacks. If you're going to take a sack, it's better to take a 3-yard sack than a 12-yard sack.
Right. And I think, somebody was posting earlier today, like, I forget which game it was, but Dylan Gabriel took 6 sacks in a game. And Dylan gets sacked a lot. And he holds onto the ball too long, but he holds onto the ball in the pocket. And, if he gets sacked, it's for, like you said, for like a 3-yard loss, not a 12-yard loss.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I don't know.
No, I appreciate it. I know.
I've got a good feeling. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. If we come out and win this week, it's going to be really, and he looks good. It's going to be really hard to sell to the fan base that Dylan's still the guy.
Yes. I mean, you're having trouble selling to me that Dylan's still the guy now. Before we ever saw Shedeur. I mean, 3 games in, I was saying, okay, let's go. We've seen what we need to see. This just isn't going to happen. There's nothing there. Sometimes you can just tell.
Yeah. I just know if we win, the reaction from the fan base on Monday when they say Dylan's going to be the starter this week. I can already see it.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Honestly, the way things kind of go with those, I feel like that announcement wouldn't come out until Wednesday. When the first practice reports and injury reports come out, I think that's whenever he might get cleared from the concussion protocol officially, and it's announced, and then he'll be asked at the press conference, are you going back to Dylan? Kevin will say yes. And everyone's going to flip their crap, But
yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate your thoughts. If you want to come back up here in a little bit, just get your hand back up. If anybody else wants to come up and talk, hands up down in the audience. I'm going to move on here real quick to some of these stats, and then we'll open it up the rest of the show for you guys, whatever you want to talk about. But the first thing I want to mention here is that Geno Smith, the Raiders traded for him before the season, and as soon as they traded for him, they gave him the extension, they paid him the money and all that stuff, and the dude has completely fallen off a cliff this year in Las Vegas. He's got 12 touchdowns to 13 interceptions in 10 games. He leads the league in interceptions. The Raiders have allowed the 6th most sacks on offense so far this season with 31. That's 3.1 per game. If you can do simple math like me, it's about all I can do. So this is a game where the Browns defense, I think, can really put the hurt on the opponent and kind of bail out our inept offense. But we are going to have to be able to do something on offense to help them because, again, it is the road defense. This is not the home. If this was a home game, I probably would guarantee a win. I probably would. I'd say, yeah, there's no way the Raiders come into Cleveland and beat us. There's no way. As soon as it's on the road in Vegas, no, I can't really pick the Browns yet because I haven't seen them win on the road since week 2 of last year. It's been a long freaking time. And also, don't forget, Kenny Pickett is the backup quarterback to Geno Smith. So if anything happens to Geno, he gets hurt or he gets benched because he's already thrown 3 picks in the first half, whatever the case may be. It would be such a Browns narrative to go face the quarterback that they originally had pegged as their QB1 most likely for the year. And then they traded him away to the Raiders before the season started and probably end up losing to him. That's just the way things work. The Raiders, they're neck and neck with the Browns as a bottom 3 offense. They average just 269 yards per game. We average 257. They're a little bit better in the passing department, not much. 187 compared to our 159. So if Shedeur goes over 200 yards this game, that's going to be busting up the average that we've had so far this season. We have them beat a little bit in the rushing department. We average 98 a game. They average 81. So not good there on the ground either. And like I said, points per game, we got them just a little bit, 16.2, excuse me, to 15.5. So right there, that's your 36.5 over under. Neither team can score. Neither team can move the ball. 2 of the worst offenses in the NFL square off Sunday in Vegas. What a freaking show. And then on defense, Brad, I'll get you up here in 1 second. On defense, the Browns are second best in the league still with 273 yards per game allowed. The Raiders give up 327. That's about middle of the pack for the league. We are the number 1 defense against the pass, so that doesn't bode very well for Geno, like I said. The Raiders give up 219 passing yards and 107 rushing yards per game. So what is kind of the whole story here? If the Raiders want to win, they're going to need a strong game from Ashton Genty against the Browns and their kind of lackluster road defense. We've been getting gashed on the ground in recent weeks, and there's always at least one big play, it seems like. And they need to limit Geno Smith in the passing game, which I think they can do. The story for the Browns is exactly the same. You got to lean on Quinshawn. You got to give him a crease on the ground and limit what you are asking Shedeur Sanders to do in his first start. All right, we'll get Brad back up here. What's going on, Brad?
Yo, by the way, I know you're mentoring Colossi or whatever it is.
Kalshi?
Right? Colossi Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Colossi, whatever. Currently, Mendoza and Ty Simpson are the top percentage to be the number 1 overall pick, according to them.
Yep.
To answer Youngblood Jordan's why is everybody so worried about 12? He's young, so and he's still a new fan, so it's a lot of us have been around a long time, and it's
that's true. If you are a new Browns fan, not to cut you off, you can come back to that real quick, but if you're a new Browns fan out there watching the show, following the team, listening to the podcast, and you're wondering, why are these Browns fans so freaking negative and just everything's like, oh, Browns are the Browns. Guys, I'll have to do an episode where I just go through the history just to give everybody a real taste because it is depressing. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, basically, you already nailed it on the head.
Shedeur is 42. He's 42. He is our 42nd quarterback of the Cleveland Browns since 1999. 42.
Sir Yacht said it well today in a little video he made. He's like, we're about to have as many quarterbacks as we've had U.S. presidents.
Yeah.
In
We're very close. We are so, by the end of next year, we'll probably hit it, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I'm hoping, because I've been watching the play calling changes with Tommy Reese. It's subtle a little bit here and there, but I do like seems like he calls a little more common sense plays that attributes to who's at quarterback. And I think he tried to adjust to Shedeur's style, but like as Shedeur said during his press conference, that was the first ball he threw to Jerry Jeudy. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to build that chemistry. And there was like this thing online, a comparisons like, well, Baker Mayfield went in without any practice. And like, I think you kind of went, yeah, well, he was QB2 the whole time. And he was a number 1 overall pick. and a Heisman Trophy winner, mind you. So he was the future. Like there
Good
was
offensive
no
line.
questions
Jarvis
about
Landry's
him.
your wide receiver 1. The things were completely different for Baker Mayfield in 2018. Completely different.
Yeah, and I said like it's completely different. And they were like trying to compare like, oh, and when he went to the Rams and started after like 2 days learning the offense, I'm like, Baker Mayfield by that point was a 5-year vet.
Yes.
Yes. Already won a playoff game. Like he should be able to do that.
Dude, when I've seen that so many times this week, people exactly what you're saying. Well, Baker was able to go 2 days later and win a game for the Rams. So why couldn't Shedeur come in one, blah, 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 without any practice? I'm like, he was in the league for 5 freaking years. He's been a starter for 5. What are we talking about here? Like, I think sometimes people post things kind of like they probably live life. They just don't think before they speak. So they don't think before they post. They just type it out, don't reread it or anything. And they're just send. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And I love, the Baker reinsurgence. I'm happy for him. But he's started to come down to earth. Now, I know they've had some injuries, but he's starting to come down to earth a little bit. But it is what it is. We moved on from that situation and we're on to this situation. And I'm thinking, I watched the coverage from the Raiders and their corners, who I can't name offhand at all. They're creative players at this point. And they were leaving dudes like wide open. And I'm hoping that this, gives Judy a game to finally get himself back on the right path. And I don't know if did Tillman get hurt again in the game, or is he? I don't know if I
think he was out at one point, but he's not been on the injury report. There's been nothing reported, so I think he's okay. Okay,
so hopefully that'll get another good game to get him back, because it seems like he's starting to kind of get back in his route running.
Yeah.
And it seems like Gage seems like a good player that's developing well for once. And there's some chemistry between him and Shedeur, so that's good. And I would like to see more of that. Was it Malachi Corley?
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Malachi Corley. Yep.
He has like speed. Like when he gets the ball, he's like a rocket.
He was comped to Deebo Samuel a lot in the pre-draft process because of his ability with the ball in his hands, his yards after catch, all that stuff. Like he was short area guy, get the ball in his hand around the line of scrimmage and then let him do work. I mean, I think he led the entire nation in yards after catch, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago, in his last year in college and all that kind of stuff for I think it was Western Kentucky. And, then he went to New York and it was like, his 3rd round pick. And then he never did anything. But then you look at the Jets and it's like, well, okay. Does anybody other than Garrett Wilson do anything there? No, they really don't. So, I mean, he's the reason why Jamari Thrash was inactive last week. So, I definitely want to see some more Malachi Corley because I think they're underutilizing him.
So, my projection for Shedeur is 58% completion percentage, and we'll say plus 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the defense one way or another gets a touchdown, whoever it is. Lately it's been Grant Delpit, and our special teams locks it down for finally and stops letting dudes just run down the field, and we hit a game-winning field goal. That's what I hope for.
That would be great. I would love to see them get this win. I would love to see Shedeur play well and get the Browns back on track, be the first rookie quarterback to get a win in his first start since they came back. Like, this would be wonderful. It would be absolutely wonderful. I mean, if Shedeur might throw 2 picks, but it doesn't mean they didn't both go off somebody's hands. That's how our wide receiver core has been this season. It really sucks that we don't have anybody to throw the ball to. It really sucks that we don't have anybody really to block. there is still part of me, I think there will always be part of me that questions whether or not these guys are actually as bad as they look on the field, and it's not also somewhat attributed to the offensive scheme in general. I see guys leave the team, go to other places, and look better than they looked here over and over. So I don't know. But does anybody else want to come on up here? I do see in the chat here, if you guys watched the Monday Night Football game between the Cowboys and the Raiders, good point here. They were also playing the Cowboys, Pickens and Lamb, and Dak Prescott. Let's not try to pretend like the Cowboys aren't worlds better on offense than what the Browns are. They actually have real life NFL football players on their team on the offensive side of the ball. We really don't. So I don't know. I made a post today about Jerry Jeudy last year. I know, he obviously much better than this year, but he had an 89.7 passer rating when the quarterback targeted him for the entire year last year, 89.7. This year he's at a 35.8 or something? It is in the 30s. Like, it's terrible. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's unexplainable. It's so bad. So, I mean, yeah, they might elevate Caden Davis just to give a little bit more there. It is a game where I would hope that Harold Fannin can be that safety outlet, that safety valve for Shedeur. Because, again, you can do a dump-off pass to Harold Fannin, a 3-yard pass, and he's gonna get you more. Wherever the sticks are, he's getting there. He'll carry 4 guys if he has to. He doesn't give a shit. I love Harold Fannin. He might be my new favorite player on that offense. I mean, David Njoku is still very good, but he just doesn't do his stuff consistently, it seems like. And I think a lot of that too is because he's asked to block and do more things in the offense than what Fannin's asked to do. That's all fair. But Harold Fannin, man, I think we got many years ahead of us of a lot of exciting times watching him. And obviously Quinshon Judkins. We just need to run the ball. We need to get some push up front, because all he needs is just a little bit, and he'll make it happen. He's not like Jerome Ford, where if you don't get him anything, he's going to get negative. Quinshon he'll move the ball forward. So all in all, I think, hit myself in the mouth with my mic. I think personally that it's going to be a low-scoring game, unless, like you guys are talking here, unless our defense comes up with a couple scores or a score early and we kind of get ahead of them. But, I mean, man, anytime we kick the ball to them, whether it's a kickoff or a punt, I'm always butt clenching because I'm like, golly, we're going to let them return it to where? The 40, the 50, beyond. You just never know. They played better last week on special teams, but that was at home. And we are now back on the frickin' road and on the West Coast, where we just historically do not perform well, ever. And that has not changed even with Kevin and Jim Schwartz here. This episode is sponsored by Baden Sports. Browns fans, I know Thanksgiving is the next thing on the list, but if you're in my house, we have had Christmas decorated all over the place since November 1st. That's right. It is coming up very quickly, Christmas time. And the best thing you can do is get ahead of your gift giving list and go to badensports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and check out everything they have to offer and use promo code DAWGS to get 10% off your entire order. You could find some really nice Christmas gifts for the athletes in your life. Obviously, baseball season would be right around the corner in the spring. They've got training balls. They've got regular game baseballs, bats, baseball gloves, all sorts of basketballs and other gear, pumps, ball bags, gym bags, things like that for your basketball players. And then the gifts that I really like to give family members and people like that would be the backyard games. Get those for Christmas gifts, because then they can hold on to those and break them out when the weather gets nice. And it's like that Christmas gift that didn't get used right away at Christmas, and they get to experience that joy again later in the year. Badminton, outdoor volleyball, bocce, horseshoes, kickball. They've got a knockout game set. And of course, pickleball, which I know I've been saying on here I need to learn how to play. I haven't yet, but I do plan to learn at some point, and I will be getting my first pickleball set from Baden Sports. So head over to badensports.com/dogs and get 10% off your entire order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. That's Baden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs. Okay. Does anybody else before, we still got some time here. If you guys want to come up and talk, if you want to ask anything, talk about the game, talk about Shedeur, just anything with the team in general, hell, we can talk draft. We can talk prospects, whatever you guys want to talk about. We got a little time here. I don't really want to wrap it up too early if I don't have to. Okay, so let's see. Colton's hand is, I'm sorry. I wasn't scrolling the chat on my end. Colton, come on up. I missed a lot of the chat stuff here, guys. I'm sorry.
All right, man. Can you hear me okay?
I got you, buddy. What's going on?
Hey, not too much. So I want to get your opinion on something.
Yeah.
So Shedeur comes out, he plays well. He remains the starter the rest of the season. It's kind of a foregone conclusion that, hey, he's going to be our starter rolling into 26. What would you think about possibly taking one of the draft picks we have in the first, trading back and building up some assets for 27? There's a lot of good talent coming out at the receiver position there, possibly quarterback position too. So I never think it's a bad thing to possibly trade back if the price is right. So wanted to get your thoughts on that and see kind of everybody else in the chat too, their thoughts on something like that.
The only way I am trading back is if I'm sitting at like 2 or 3 and there's like a quarterback on the board and the team at 4 or 5 really wants that quarterback. Maybe there's 2 teams right behind me fighting for it. I'll trade back if I'm only going back a couple spots. I am not bailing out of the top 10. I'm not bailing out of the top 5 if I don't have to. I get the sentiment of, accumulating picks for a future season. But for me, it's like that's putting your eggs in a very unknown. Because when you're sitting there in the draft in 2026, you've got the 2026 prospects in front of you. You know what you have available in the draft. It is, and the draft rate, there's a crapshoot based on what you end up getting from those guys. The 2027 draft is a complete unknown. You don't know for sure who's coming out. You don't know, like nobody was talking about Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson before this season. I never heard those names before. Now all of a sudden they're the top 2 quarterback prospects. Everybody, Grant Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik and all these guys that were supposed to be the top people, we were getting mocked Cade Klubnik number 1 overall to the Browns back in September. And now he's probably going to go undrafted if he even plays in the league. So much changes in a year in football that I would, like I said, I would only trade back if it was a little bit, just not very far, because there are still players I want or I'm going to want in this draft. And if you're rolling with Shedeur as your starter in 2026, you better make damn sure you're getting the best wide receiver, the best offensive tackle you can possibly get in that first round next year. Otherwise, we're going to have a whole nother season of bitching and moaning and griping about no talent on this offense, poor offensive line, nobody to catch the ball, all this stuff. And I'm sick of it. We're going to have, I just posted this today, we're going to have 3 picks in the top, probably 40, 35 to 40. And we're going to have 5 picks in the top right around 100 picks. And I think they all need to be used on offense for real.
No, so I appreciate that. The thing that I keep thinking about is kind of the Falcons-Rams deal that went down this year. So Rams gave up like the pick in the 20th. Then the Falcons moved up. Now that pick with the Falcons having Penix hurt and then them kind of falling out of the South could potentially end up being a top 5 pick. So that's the only reason I hate to look ahead, but I'm a Browns fan at heart. So I'm like, if we're at that 19 kind of slot where Jacksonville might be, okay, hey, you trade back a little bit or you trade into the second with something like that, and then could potentially end up with a top 5 pick in 27. But I agree with you. You know what you got in 26. Roll the ball. We've got holes all over the place. We look like a Swiss cheese team at this point. So
yes.
I'm with you there, man. So appreciate it.
Nope. Yeah. Appreciate your question. Appreciate coming up here and talking and everything. Love hearing from you every week. Yeah, again, like that sort of situation with the Rams and Falcons. Yeah, it worked out real well. Or it looks like it's working out real well for the Rams right now as far as the draft pick that they're going to have in the first round next year. But again, that's just a crapshoot, because what if the Falcons went on to make the playoffs this year and Michael Penix played really good and everything? Now that pick is a late round pick. The Browns traded with the Jaguars and immediately everybody's like, oh, we could have 2 top 10 picks next year. Now that pick's going to probably be in the 20s. You just never know. There's so much parity in the league, except for with the Browns, really. Pretty much any team any year can surprise you. Nobody thought the Colts were going to be, leaders in the AFC this year. It's just the way it goes. It's really hard to predict exactly how things are going to go year to year in this league, which is why it's the best league, in sport, pro sports. Let's see. So I thought somebody else had their hand up. Yeah? No? Anybody else want to come on up? Jordan in the chat really thinks there's going to be some, 3 touchdowns from Shedeur? All this kind of stuff. We'll see. Colton, I'm sorry. I'm going to move you out of here. If you want to come back up here before the end, just get your hand back up. Brad?
Yeah. I think, I don't know if I was the earliest one to talk about it, but I think, I was close to one of the first, and I brought everybody's attention to it. But I'm still saying Fernando Mendoza is the truth.
I like him.
I
do.
Yeah, he's tall.
Yep.
His energy's great. He throws a great deep ball. He can move.
Dude's very smart.
He has great leadership. Yeah. He has like everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, as being a homer, I would love if Julian Sand came out right now. But looking at him right now, it's only like his ceiling's so high. Like if he looks this good now, wait till like a year or two down he will be like the legit number 1 guy taken off the board.
He probably will be. He continues to develop.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Mendoza, I like the kid. I really do. I don't know if he has a superpower, like elite level trait. I just think overall he's very good everywhere. I think somebody was comparing him to like Jared Goff as far as like what he could become like ceiling wise in the NFL. And I think that's very good. You know, Goff was the number 1 overall pick and turned into a very good player over his career now. And yeah, Mendoza, I know a lot of people are high on Ty Simpson as well, and just what he's able to do. I have not been able to break down film for these guys yet. I don't have the time to do that until the season's really over. I got too much time and energy focused on the here and now with this team. But I'm excited. I'm excited to dig into all these guys because I would love it. You guys know if you listen, I want Shedeur to be the starter next year. I want him to show enough here over the back end of this season that we're like, okay, let's just give him next year. Let's say we're just rolling with him. They were okay coming into this year saying Dylan Gabriel's our starter. Why can't you be okay going into next year saying Shedeur Sanders is our starter? We got 2 first-round picks to load up, get a receiver, a legitimate receiver, get offensive line help. And then we got an early second-round pick, too, to take the next wide receiver. I would take another wide receiver there. I'd go wide receiver. I would take either top wide receiver or tackle, depending on who's projected to be there by the time we get to April. And then the next pick's going to be the other position. And then that first pick in the second round's got to be a wide receiver too.
I've done a couple mock, and obviously the positions keep changing every week. Yeah. So, wherever we fall eventually. But I don't know, a lot of my mocks, I just take Carnell Tate because I mean, I know he's a little roughed up right now, but that's because we've been playing absolutely nobody right now. So they're just like being cautious.
Right.
But he's tall. He's quick. He
contested catch king.
Yes.
God,
yeah.
Is he good at that?
Yeah. I mean, obviously we would all love to have the other guy. He's not coming out till next year.
Right.
Because he is ridiculous too. Wide receiver you down there, man.
Mm-hmm. They sure are.
But as far as like you said, I depending how Shedeur works, if he starts to progress and looks like a dude, then we can do a wide receiver, top tackle, and then the second round do another wide receiver because we need all of them. And and then the rest of the draft, offensive line or free agency or whatever, maybe grab a safety in there because we need another one, and that's it.
Yep. I agree, man. Yeah, draft season is going to be fun. So if you guys are out there and you want to be part of the dog pack and talk, draft and prospects and stuff with everybody once that comes around, I mean, it's a cool place to be. We are in there talking that stuff all the time. I think I had one more hand here wanting to come up. Let's see if we do. Maybe not. Does anybody else want to come up before. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Good.
I hear you.
We're good.
Yeah, when it comes to the draft, I'm just not comfortable with us taking Simpson or Mendoza. I'm a Bama fan, and I'm telling you, like, I'm not comfortable with taking Simpson with our first pick.
Why not? What? Because you were really out on Jalen Milroe as a Bama fan. So, your perspective on Ty Simpson is something I'm very interested in.
Well, it's the fact, like, he's only started like 13 or so games. Like, he doesn't have enough experience under his belt for me to say, yeah, he's the guy. Like, do I see potential in him? Like, does he have a good arm? Yeah. But it needs to get better. His progression needs to get better. He needs to improve his accuracy a little bit more. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback right now. I just don't. I need to see more college experience under his belt before I can say, yeah, he's our guy.
Okay.
He definitely. To me, he needs another year.
Well,
but
that's the thing, and I see people, draft analysts and stuff already saying, like, these guys have another year of eligibility. There's always the world where they don't come out in the draft this year. And I'll tell you what, if Simpson and or Mendoza, one or both of them, don't come out in 26, I don't think, is there going to be a quarterback drafted in the top? I mean, maybe Dante Moore comes out, but he's probably going to go back too, if nothing else. Would he taking Garrett Nussmeier at this point? No. It could be another really, really bad quarterback draft.
I think it's going to be worse than last year's. I think it's going to be pretty bad.
Wow. Okay. All right. Are you saying even if Simpson and Mendoza come out?
Yeah.
Well, I know you do a lot of draft prospect stuff, so I definitely take interest to your opinion on these guys for sure.
Yeah, I'm seeing Dante Moore is probably going to go back. Like Lenore Sellers, he needs to go back. He better not come out because he'll be like a third, fourth round pick, maybe even a fifth round pick.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson ruined it for all those guys who are raw but have some extreme athletic ability and could really just wow you at the combine and maybe go first round. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah. To me, anyways, regardless, if we were going to take a quarterback in 26, we're not going to be competitive really until realistically maybe after the 27 class.
You said, I'm sorry, if we do take a quarterback in 27,
the 27 quarterback class is going to be loaded.
And that's what people said about 26 too, though.
There's going to be a lot more prospects to choose from.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and this is coming from a diehard Browns fan, and I'm sure you and everybody else agrees. Sick of waiting for the quarterback position to get figured out. That's why, Sunday is such a big deal for Shedeur Sanders in his first start to go out there and just show something. I obviously doesn't need to be perfect. It's not going to be. Doesn't need to be beautiful. Probably ain't going to be all that pretty most of the time. Just look like there's competency there and some high level ceiling if things develop the right way. That's what I'm looking for, because I just haven't seen that with Dylan. Dylan's been okay at times, but that's about the most of it. It's been like, okay, but usually it's, oh Lord, did you see that throw? That's been Dylan. Yeah. I need to see something from this guy.
What will really accelerate this whole thing is if Shedeur ends up being the guy.
Yes.
If he ends up being our guy, then this accelerates the whole rebuild. And, maybe we can do something in 26 if we, get a couple receivers in here. And obviously our offensive line is going to, I think it's only DeJuan Jones and Luke Whippler under contract.
Zinter. Yay, Zinter.
Oh, and Zinter. Oh, yeah, I forget about him.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else.
That's it.
Yeah, I think everybody else. That's why I think they should get an extension worked out with Wyatt Teller, because you're not going to be able to just reload all 5 freaking offensive line positions and expect it to be any better. You're going to need some sort of veteran who's been here, and you know, he's 31. He's not super old or anything, but he's not young, but he's that veteran guy. He's been here. He can be the leader for the offensive line. But you're going to get some younger people or some new free agents in here, that kind of thing. So I would like to see them extend Teller for sure.
Yeah. And if all of our picks and within the top 100 next year are not offense, if they're not all offensive players, I'm going to be mad. I'm tired. Stop taking defensive players. Like, we're good, bro. We're good. We're good.
The draft. So our favorite show to do every year is draft night. Every year. It's so much fun. It's like a 4-hour live stream. It's just, there's so much that happens, and it's just a blast. And if you guys watched it this past year, or you didn't, go back and just watch the first, because we picked number 5 and we traded back from 2 to 5, and we were all like, Genty, take offense, or, take Tet McMillan or something. And then they went with a defensive tackle. And I'm not sure there was even 1 ounce of excitement between the 5 of us that were hosting the show that night. Or 4, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was nothing against Mason Graham. It was just
everybody was clowning. Everybody was clowning us passing up on Travis Hunter for Mason Graham.
Yeah.
And then they were really clowning us when we took Schlesinger. I mean, I was like, who?
Yeah, no, but somebody earlier said that Mason Graham might have been the steal of the draft. I don't think he can be the steal of the draft, because I think that's firmly Carson Schlesinger.
Oh, yeah. Schlesinger is an absolute beast.
Yes.
Yeah, he moves really well in space, and he has really good closing speed. So wherever the ball is, he's usually in the pile somewhere.
That dude is a freaking football player. He is so smart. Yeah. He just knows where the ball is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if Shedeur's the guy, this will accelerate our whole rebuild.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That remains to be seen. And if they decide Mendoza or Simpson is the guy, which I don't think they are, then so be it. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, well,
I'm just some random guy.
They get paid the big bucks, and they've been getting paid those big bucks for 6 years, and look where we are. So I think just because they're getting paid more than we are to talk about to look at things for the Browns doesn't mean they know that much better sometimes.
Yeah.
But all right, man, I appreciate you. I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to get me out of here and go enjoy my evening, get this thing ready to go out there for the public. I appreciate all you guys jumping in here talking about Shedeur Sanders' first start this Sunday against the Raiders in Vegas. The Browns heading out there. Again, West Coast games are not friendly to the Browns, plus road games in general have not been good to us either. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see what they can do. Remember, if you guys are out there in Vegas this weekend for the game, make sure you link up with the Vegas Dog Pound. Kenny Mack is going to be out there with the Ottawa Browns backers. The Browns Backer Bash, that's going to be Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. at Evolve Brewing in St. Felix. Go check them out. Gary Barnage is going to be there, so go hang out with them. And make sure if you guys want to get into these Dog Pack Discord episodes moving forward, head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. Use the Black Friday sale going on right now until November 30th. Use code Black Friday whenever you sign up for either, you get 10% off either your first month or your first annual subscription, whichever you guys choose to do. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Go Browns this weekend. Go Shedeur Sanders. Like Gage was saying there at the end, if he can be the guy, that changes the short-term outlook for this team, because until we get a quarterback in here, that is the guy. I feel like we are destined for rebuilds, mini rebuilds, little retoolings, all this kind of stuff, because it just, guys get older. You see that with like Joel Bitonio and Nick Chubb, and it'll be Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward next. Guys' careers continue on while the team itself is spiraling and cycling and just searching for that answer at quarterback. So let's see if he can be that guy. If you ask Jordan in the chat, he is 100% the guy. He fully guarantees it. Let's see if he's right on Sunday. Go Browns. We'll see you guys Sunday night after the game when we do our live reaction show. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you then.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.